The second point is about project management. So, adding another element to it. Plan or just do it. Two approaches. Most small businesses don't plan. Most creative businesses don't plan. Why? Simply because you don't need to. You agree with yourself, you have an idea in mind. But that is a mistake, because planning is necessary. How do you know how well you did if you did not have a plan before and you can compare it after 1 year? What you planned, what you actually did. If you want to seek some finance or ask for some funding, approach an investor. They will ask you, what do you have in mind? What is your plan? And they want it in written. They want to see it and analyze it. If you don't have it, they won't believe simply your word. So, of course, you need to adapt, and the plan is not there to follow step by step. It can be changed. We will look at that. Now, from the project management literature and the Project Management Institute, project management consists of a number of processes that are initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, and closing. So, in a way, from the beginning of the project till the end of the project, you can specify all those elements and a number of areas. Scope, time, cost, quality, procurement, human resources, communication. So, the processes is, in a way, the timeline of the project. What you do when. The areas are the different elements you need to look after. You need to look after the scope. What is your objective? You need to mind the time, because you're given a specific time. They want that website ready in 1 week. They want that sound mixed in 5 days. Or they want that house project in a month, because they need to start building and they have contracted the workers. So time is important. Cost, quality, and those things don't always go together, because if you want something of higher quality, cost will be high. But then whoever is paying for the project, they don't want that. They want the optimum, the best time, the best cost, the best quality. And that is why project management, it's all about balancing all these elements together. How do we do that? One key tool that I strongly recommend you use is the work breakdown structure. This is one example. How to draw a diagram. So, it sounds like a simple thing. We think we know how to do it. But if we break it down into different areas, it can be a bit more complicated. But when you break it down, it means you can replicate. You can give this model on how to build a diagram to someone else, and even if they have not built a diagram before, they will follow this step by step. So a work breakdown structure is what you can apply in what you do if you want help from other people, if you want to involve other people, if you want the team to do it. Just because something is clear in your mind, doesn't mean that others can read it. You need to write a work breakdown structure, put it in writing, even in a simple way, and present it. And then it becomes a manual. It becomes something that can replicate work, even creative work, more productively. Which means you don't need to explain the same thing over and over and over again. A work breakdown structure is also very important when you need to monitor and control what went wrong, what went right. You go through every little element and you try to figure out what went wrong. Another element is a Gantt chart. Gantt chart gives to the work breakdown structure a time dimension. You take all the elements, so summary element number 1, summary element number 2, and you give it a time frame. Between week 1 and 2, I will have the website structure. Between week 2 and 3, I will create the designs and I will upload the photos. Between week 3 and 4, or maybe 2 and 4, because maybe they can overlap, I will do the member accounts. So the different login roles on the website, if you're creating a website. So all this helps you keep the project on track, following the scope, and make sure you just progress as you are expected. Again, It's a communication tool. You can communicate with other members. You can check, control, monitor. It can be applied in every creative project as well. If you're organizing an event, there's a time when you welcome subscriptions, registrations, you send out invitations, a time to book the hotel or the venue where you will organize it, a time to invite keynote speakers. Everything takes a certain amount of time, it has a certain duration, and it comes in a way that they're all related to each other. Work breakdown structure, Gantt chart, two of your most important project management tools. One example, gaming design. You have there one of the most famous and most creative persons in the gaming design who created Mario Bros. And Nintendo Wii. But even companies like Unity that are used by mobile game designers, they follow the same process. Step by step, break the task down in smaller steps and then follow these steps. So, and it can be applied in every area. So project management, it's a business concept, but it can be applied, and it has been applied in the creative industries very efficiently. So I strongly recommend you learn a bit more about project management resources, and you keep these two key concepts in mind at least, the work breakdown structure and the Gantt chart. There are two strategies when you manage projects. The first is the waterfall approach, and the second is the agile methodology. What does it mean, the waterfall? The waterfall is like the waterfall. The water flows in one direction, from top down. It just falls. And that is how we can think about a project plan. Project starts, we do the plan, we implement it, we monitor, we deliver, we assess, and that's it. So the planning in the beginning is very important because it's executed straight away and we don't go back. Now, that is good for certain types of projects. Maybe for a construction project. Usually the architect design gives it to the construction engineers, they build the building, it gives it to the interior designs, or then the installations come in, plumbing, electricity, and then interior design at the same time, maybe together, and then the building is finished. You sell the building. But then when you're designing a software, or when you are designing a logo, even a logo, someone can explain it with words, but with words it's difficult to explain the image they have in mind, or maybe they don't have an image in mind. You design something, and you need to go back and you show, and they say, I don't like it. I don't like it. So what do? You need to go back, work on it again, ask them why they don't like it, make the changes, and go back. And then you progress this way. This is the agile methodology. You need to be flexible. You need to be able to change, but then you progress in small steps. Don't, for example, if you're designing a website, there is no point to design the whole website straight away before you ask them. Design a small piece, a small part, maybe only the first page, and go and ask them. How do they like it? Get their feedback. Use it, fix the front page, then start working on the second page. Also remembering the feedback that they gave you, the agile methodology. Very useful if you are a software designer, website designer, visual designer, graphic designer, or similar. That requires some degree of creativity that is difficult to translate and communicate with words.